All right, so I am done with the big gun, the big one here, and so it is finished. But I'll go ahead and show you kind of the final outcome. So I have signed it, and let's see. Last where I finished off, I didn't have this section done with the car, so that's just mostly different kind of blues and some whites, some light grays to kind of get reflection of the metal or like the glass, and then I used a dark umber for the tires and just kind of put dashes of color in there so you can see that, right? And then I added in light here with a neo pastel cream color, and then I went in with the pale yellow sen to kind of push that light a little bit brighter in certain spots, and kind of followed it up to where the light's coming from. Okay, so I kind of put in little dashes of like light with this pale yellow here to kind of carry that light through the scene to then get down here on the ground, the pavement, the street here. All right, and you can see I did the stop lights. Again, that's just a dark umber. Um, so I just kind of put those in and I did the swirly things around it. And again, here, if you notice here, you see this really bright orange color, and that's just basically this right here. Okay, so I put in, actually it's not that one, it is, excuse me, got the wrong stick, it's this one here. This is the sun. So I just put in that to help carry that light coming through. It's coming in from behind the building. And over here did the same with extending the light kind of coming around. So the light's kind of wrapping around this tower part, right? So it's really light up here. You can see um, some of that pale yellow right up in there. Okay, and then I put some bright kind of violets in here to kind of get like a light haze, or this part of the building would be lighter if there was light coming in front of it. So I kind of did that to work that out, and I like a few more greens and blues in here to kind of build out the darks in the building. Added the street sign, a fire hydrant, again with an orange and some ochres. Okay, so it is done. And it is very wet and very sticky, and it's going to take a while for that to harden out. I'm probably going to let it sit out for a good month. I might even go a little longer before I start even attempting to varnish it. And I'm not sure which one I'll use. I might use this gloss one by this Windsor, and I'm not sure yet. I figure it's going to take several cans of varnish to try to get a minimal level of protection on it, because it's pretty thick. It's just Sens and Sennelier and Haya. They're pretty much 100%. There's a few Neo Pastels in there. All right, but it is 24 by 30 canvas, and it's about an inch, maybe about an inch here on the width of it. You see I wrapped oil pastel going around the sides there too, so I'll have to protect that as well. One thing that happened when I was working on this is I broke one of the Hayas here, and this is a really soft stick. This kind of this this warm green here. So I was kind of going through on the limbs and adding some light that was coming through and hitting these branches, right? That maybe it's getting a little bit light, and kind of followed that light again by using this. When I was doing that, then this broke because I was putting a little bit too much pressure, but you can see the texture build up there. If I go up close, hopefully you can see the texture of that, and I did it over here too. Okay, and then I used a bright orange there in certain parts, and that was a high orange, this bright orange here, where and I made sure I was following the swirly marks, right? The dashes kind of follow the swirl, the direction of the swirl. So anyway, I broke this, not a problem. I just kind of used this broken edge here to get some oil pastel down, which really works well actually. If you break a stick, you can kind of get the oil pastel to stick down on the surface a little bit easier sometimes. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to show you the finished piece, and I went ahead and just finished it yesterday and just kind of worked right through it. Only had less than an hour to go to kind of finish out all this kind of bottom piece. This is a light gray for like the lines in the pavement, the crosswalk lines, the lines in the road. I just use a sennelier light gray. and then used a stump to kind of help move that color and the swirling marks, and then went back in with some of the reds and oranges to kind of match that movement. Okay, so I'll just kind of scan over it. You could get some up close views of it, and you can see the movement of the color, the marks, right? The buildup of color. Again, this is all Sennelier and Haya. There's maybe a few Neo Pastels in there, but that's it. Mostly Sennelier and Haya on a 24 by 30 canvas. And if I were to do this again on canvas, I'm going to prep it differently. I'm going to put several loads, maybe at least 2 coats of gesso, thick applications of it, to kind of get past that canvas texture. And then I'll then put some pastel ground so I can get more of a pastel board type of feel with that, and hopefully that'll work better. The canvas does eat up a lot. You can see the texture there up close. This canvas eats up a lot of oil pastel. A lot of my sticks are shaved in half. The grands worked really the best for this kind of project, but even though those started disappearing on me slowly. All right, so I'm just kind of going over so you can see the way it moves. And this was a lot of fun. It took me a while. I just kind of worked on it day by day, an hour here, an hour there, 45 minutes, whatever I had the time for. I try to at least do something on it every day to kind of get me through it. And I didn't have an intention to use swirls like this. It just kind of happened. If you watch some of the earlier videos on this painting, it didn't start this way, but as I was going through it, I just felt I needed something different because I felt it was just too stiff. And so I just needed to kind of change it up kind of early on in the process. I was like, you know what, it's just kind of, it's not, there's something wrong. It's just feeling too stiff. I'm too stiff. So I started just then taking you can watch that in the video. I just started taking a paper stump or a tortillon, just basically one of these here, an older one that had a duller point on it, and I just started moving it around and started just doing it really randomly. And then I came back in with the sticks and matched the mark making. You can see the directions of the marks, how they follow that swirl, and then I just kept going with it. And anyway, that's the final piece, 24 by 30. We're just about 3 to 4 feet away from it. It's a nice big piece on stretch canvas, and happy with how it turned out. It moves really well. The colors really are vibrant, and it's going to take a while to protect. I'm going to give it a month, let the oil pastel kind of set up, harden up a little bit. So about a month from now, maybe even 2 months, I'll go ahead and do the varnishing on it. And then I plan to show these in a group, these kind of Portland locations, and get a group show. I'm going to try to even attempt to contact a gallery and see if I can get it into a show where I show a bunch of Portland locations on kind of these bigger pieces here. So, okay, anyway, thanks for watching the videos if you watched them. Sorry I didn't show the last part, but I really just wanted to just work through it and get it done. So it is. Here it is. All right, guys, and I'm about to start a new one here. I got a day off today, so this is a good day to paint. And this will be a full-length tutorial, the next one coming up. All right, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day.